Hello and welcome to the first episode of Bridgeport. This is a new series I'm starting for the summer. Some of you guys may recognize this name from last summer where I made Bridgeport and Planet Coaster 1. We're going to go for kind of the same vibe but way more low budget, and I'm pulling from different inspiration. The last park was inspired by Gronaland and kind of like an American Gronaland. This park's definitely just going to be lower budget, more of like a pier park. Think Santa Cruz Boardwalk or like Indiana Beach, something like that. So yeah, I'm really hoping to finish this park this summer. Compared to last time I attempted Bridgeport, that didn't end up too well and I did not finish it, and I was actually kind of sad because that was going to be the first park I publish and finish in Planet Coaster 1, even though I had so many hours on that game. But we're going to start off strong and we're going to get this park finished and published by the end of the summer. So first I kind of want to talk about the setting of this park. I was able to get it using one of the career maps. You could kind of like fill it in, and then it's basically like a peninsula, and you could get this nice beach area, and it's an actual beach compared to in Planet Coaster 1 where you could only use like you could just make one big lake and then you gotta really imagine a beach. Now you can actually see the beach. So yeah, there was some limitations with the shape of the map and it's not what I wanted, but it actually turned out pretty nice anyways. So if we look at the map, we got some roads laid out already. We got this main road right here, which some of you guys may recognize the name of Pacific Coast Highway. This is a highway that goes all the way down the beach of like Southern California, and it's just very famous and a very cool road to go down. Then we have this made-up road named Peninsula Drive, which like the name suggests, just goes all the way around this peninsula. We have another street called Bridgeport Circle, and this is going to be where the main drop-off zone is. Probably not for buses, but for like cars, taxis, I don't know, like Ubers, whatever. They have this little roundabout that they can drop people off at. Honestly, don't know if this roundabout actually works, but the idea is that you wouldn't even be going around this as a roundabout. You'd mainly be going around it just to drop people off. The only time I could see you going all the way around is maybe if you're waiting for a long time to pick someone up, or if like someone forgets something. But besides that, you're mainly just going to be, you know, stopping on the outer one or the second or the middle one, stopping, waiting for your guests to leave, and then merging out into another lane. So yeah, right here we have just a nice little planter. I originally had a fountain here, but I felt like the fountain kind of looked weird. I might try again with the fountain, but right now we just have this planter, and I kind of like the very like weird looking palm trees. Kind of reminds me of In-N-Out, how In-N-Out always has two double crossing palm trees in front of every building. And then we also have this statue right here. The statue is probably the owner and the owner's daughter, but not really sure what the lore of this park is going to be. So if you guys got any name suggestions for the owner and the owner's daughter, you know, leave them by in the comments. Maybe I'll put like a little like in memory of so and so and so and so. And then we got this big bridge as you pass through Bridgeport Circle. This bridge, very SoCal-y. I was actually in Santa Barbara and I saw a bridge that basically looked the same exact way with these little like U's. I just used the font pieces, the U, and just copied and pasted them. And then we just use a bunch of and then I just use a bunch of plaster and like the resort balcony, and then these like fences to make the look. And then also I was able to make these sidewalks pretty believable with the whole new system of paths, how you can have curbs and no curbs. So basically you just make this part the road and no curbs, and then you make this part curbs, and then you can just raise it up like a very tiny bit, and then boom, you got a little sidewalk going on. You could probably lower it right here as well, so then it makes more sense for the crosswalk, but it is kind of finicky and you got to play around with it, so maybe I'll do that later on. Also, I got these cool little planners set up. I like this little like wave planner that I got right here. A lot of the planters in Southern California by the beaches kind of go down. They don't like they're not like raised above it. It's kind of just like a hole in the sidewalk, and then they have a planter here. So yeah, and then every planter here at least just has palm trees. That's basically all you'd see anyways in this Southern California beach area. So the idea is after getting dropped off at this roundabout, you'd walk over here and then you get the main entrance area. So to this left side, there's going to be a water park. I'm not really sure who's gonna own it. I don't know if it'll be owned by the same people who own the amusement park, but there will be a water park on this site and probably a hotel as well. If the hotels get added over the summer, or if they don't, I'll just make a fake hotel. But just some quick little details here. We got these bollards, like the target balls. Those target ball bollards. Oh my gosh, that's hard to say. There's like red balls, so I added them here, and instead of making them red, obviously we made them like this kind of like sandy color. And then we have these yellow bump thingies for like wheelchair and like disabled people, so then they know that they're entering a street. To be fair, you wouldn't really be using the street anyways unless for maybe like a media event, because I guess the idea is that, like, you know, maybe if there's a celebrity visiting, they could like pull up in a limo right here and they could do like, you know, press or whatever. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. But anyways, if we walk over here, we first got the tickets office right here. I still need to flesh out the interior. I'm honestly not going to do a bunch of interiors on this park probably. I want to probably do one restaurant or a couple restaurant interiors, maybe a couple gift shops once those come in the update. But for right now, there's no interior, and I'll probably add like a very simple interior right here. And then this way we have like a little restaurant. Haven't named it. If you guys got any name suggestions for a restaurant, you could leave those below. The idea for a lot of these restaurants is they're gonna be like family-owned restaurants, so like Jack's Diner or something, or Bill's Diner, you know, so stuff like that. And then we have a little gift shop right here. Once again, no name. Another restaurant probably. These two buildings don't really matter. They're kind of just to like set the scene of the actual amusement park. And speaking of the amusement park, we'll actually get to that now. And then just real quickly, we have a bakery right here, the Bridgeport Bakery. Nothing too crazy. You know, we got muffins, cookies, croissants, cinnamon rolls, cakes, pies, bread, cupcakes. And then a restroom. Men, women, you know, basic stuff. This will probably be like a little guest services thing outside the park, just in case you need to talk to someone. And then we have the main entrance to the park. We got this big boomerang here, pretty hard to miss. It's just a boomerang, nothing special about it. And then we have the entrance to the park. I wanted to make the entrance kind of like underwhelming, you know. I don't want the entrance to be really grand. I wanted it to be very grounded and very just like, you know, oh, it's just an entrance. I wanted to be kind of like blended in with the buildings. This is gonna be the metal detectors. The idea is that, you know, you'd wait in line, go through the metal detector, place your bags here. Someone's probably gonna check your bags, make sure you're not sneaking in any like bombs or something. And then, you know, you get the bomb, not the bomb, you get the bag on the other side. Hope it's not a bomb. And then you're good to go into this little plaza area. I kind of don't know over here if I want the Bridgeport sign to be right here or on here. Please let me know if you guys have any suggestions on whether it should be with the metal detectors or if it should be with the turnstiles. So here at the turnstile area, once again, wanted to be very like humble, very like underwhelming. So it's just a part of the blends in with the buildings here. Right here is the guest services for inside the park. But the idea is that, you know, you got the season passes, the day tickets, you got designated exit turnstiles, and probably these would turn into exit turnstiles as the day gets later. And these exit turnstiles are also going to be used for disabled people because they're wider, easy to get through and all that. And right here, the idea is that you'd have like an employee probably standing here, making sure that you're like fine getting your like ticket scanned or whatever. You probably get your ticket on the phone anyways, you just scan it and go through. I got these turnstiles off of the workshop, so yeah. And then as you walk through to your left, you got the little rentals area. I'm honestly not even sure if this is how a rental area looks like. I just kind of assumed this is what it would look like. So we have a bunch of strollers everywhere, a bunch of wheelchairs. We got these little like mobility scooters, I think. These are like crazy good. Whoever made these like locked in, because these are really nice. But yeah, those are the rentals. Oh, also I kind of like this. On the signs we have like see you next time, exit or whatever. So then it's like a nice little like message as you're leaving the park. And then yeah, like I said earlier, this is the guest services area, this blue building. You would like walk in, and then the majority of the guest services would be in this blue area. Right here we got the restrooms. Probably should label men or women, and also need to add a ceiling right here, but you know, that's fine. Then we got this nice little planter area, some nice like brick pathing. We got like lamps or whatever. And then as we continue going this way, we have the main part of this video, which is going to be the boomerang. This boomerang would have been made probably like I think right now I have the year as 1987. Yeah, so this is just a Vekoma boomerang. Obviously just gonna have a normal layout. I can't really talk much about the coaster itself because it's literally just a copy and paste layout, but I named it Riptide. I wanted to get a name, I think it's called a palindrome, where it's like race car. You can spell race car the same forward and backwards, but I couldn't think of any that are like surfing related, so I kind of just went with Riptide. So if you guys know any palindromes that are somewhat surfing related, maybe I'll change the name. But yeah, we got the entrance right here. Oh, and also this is a little coffee shop. I like this chill little area idea. You could like order your coffee here, and you can pick up the coffee at this counter, and you got a bunch of seating area right here, and you can just kind of chill. On the sign you get coffee, pastries, and fudge, so that's fun. You can have some fudge, I guess. So here's the entrance area. I kind of want to add like a little height marker thingy, and then like a thingy talking about like you know, if you're pregnant or have like a heart disease, you shouldn't be riding this ride. So probably add that stand somewhere here. We got like a little wait time thingy. The idea is that this is like a screen, and then it could change depending on obviously the wait time. Right now it's 20 minutes, so yeah. So this is the queue line. You got a nice view of like the roller coaster here. I actually really kind of like this queue line. It's literally like cattle pen hell, but it's like a nice location. So we have, once again, just you get up close and personal with this coaster. And you got like a little rope here, so if it's not that busy, you can kind of just put down the rope here, and then you could walk through this way instead. We have covering right here, so then you don't get hit by phones or whatever. You can continue walking this way. We have the don't die fencing right here, and then once again we just enter more cattle pen hell. You do have these like umbrellas for shade here, and then I got these little do not enter signs off the workshop, so that was very nice. And then yeah, the station isn't anything too crazy. Oh, I need to delete that. Station isn't anything too crazy. I did go kind of crazy with the like supports or whatever it's called, the framework. Who knows if this would actually work, but I feel like it looks pretty realistic. I got these little numbers here, like 1 2 3 4 5, and then we got like lights right here. So now on the other side of the station we have like these decals here, kind of to show like just some age. Like I said, this was built in 1987, so it definitely isn't gonna be the nicest anymore, and I don't think this park would have amazing upkeep anyways. We have this little sign here, Riptide. You know, I feel like it looks very plain, but I want it to look plain. I want it to look kind of cheap and bad. And then the idea is that there's no like shelves here for people to place their like loose articles. Instead, you just kind of place your just bags like right here against the wall. Montezuma's Revenge at Knott's, when that was open, had that same system where you don't have like actual shelves, you just kind of place them down. So I thought that was like pretty low budget, pretty chill. And then the exit's not anything too fancy. You had a view of this wall, amazing wave wall right here. Once again, it's showing its age. This was probably built even before this was built, so yeah, and they definitely wouldn't put any upkeep on this wall. This is just a wall separating you from the outside world, basically, from like a road. Bunch of palm trees everywhere. Get a nice view, I guess, of the boomerang spikes. And then right here, I might add this wall over here, because I don't really like how you're able to just see the outside world right here. And like, I think if you get like a bunch of rowdy people, they could probably start throwing stuff over the wall, and that would probably cause some like commotion. So probably best if we get like a more sturdy wall set up. But yeah, you can walk out this way, and then you're back onto the main path right here. This is probably gonna be like the main like street, or quote unquote main street. We might also have another main street right here, which brings us to the Dippin' Dot station. I got this off the workshop, but you know, it's not a complete amusement park without Dippin' Dots. And then we get to where I kind of spent a decent amount of my time, was making this. This is a custom chairlift I made. It is on the workshop, and it's not like, it doesn't have all these like, you know, the fun facts and like Bridgeport. It's just a very plain one, but then it's very easy to recolor. I'll probably put the workshop code in the description, or I'll put it on the screen right now. But yeah, I thought it was going to be really cool. We got a bunch of different colors over there, And the idea is that like on the back of them, maybe there would be like different fun facts, or like, you know, did you know, or like maybe like jokes, like really bad roller coaster puns. So if you guys got any suggestions, or maybe even Easter eggs, so if you guys got suggestions for like little Easter eggs or like really bad roller coaster puns, you know, leave them in the comments below, and maybe I'll add them to the back of some of these, and maybe I'll add like shout outs or whatever. But yeah, I kind of like the idea, just that they would just have these little like fun facts and stuff at the back, so while you're riding this sky ride, you have a nice view, or you get a nice view, and you got these little like stupid jokes or whatever. If you're wondering how I did this, I just used a gondola ride, and then I got rid of the station, and then I just made these custom chairlifts, because I felt like the gondola would have been way too like expensive and way too fancy for this park. So yeah, my plan right here is to add like planters right here to blend these supports in, kind of inspired by like the Cedar Point sky ride. Now if we look at this from the top, this sky ride is going to go all the way from here all the way over here. So this leads us to kind of some lore of this park, the story of this park. The park would have originally opened like over here with just this area, maybe just a Ferris wheel, and then they would have expanded to like a wooden roller coaster, and then would keep expanding this way. So this would have opened probably in the 1960s, and then this part of the park would have opened in the 1980s. So the rest of the park right here, this would have all been parking lot before, and then they expanded to like more of an official amusement park with like an actual entrance. So yeah, you'll see once we get to this part what kind of my idea is, but it's definitely going to start showing its age this way. And then we'll probably have staff parking in this area right here, more parking over here, and yeah, that'll basically cover this whole video. If you enjoyed this, and if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. My goal is to try uploading semi-consistently, maybe once every 2 weeks, or once every week if I'm able to, because I definitely want to get this whole area done, because once again, it's not just the amusement park, it's also the water park. But I was able to get basically half of this area done pretty fast, so if I can continue at that pace, I should be in good shape. So yeah, leave any like suggestions, any feedback, anything you'd like to see in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.